Throughout history, there have been many stories of giants roaming the earth. From the Bible to ancient Greek mythology, these tales have been passed down for generations. But are these stories true? Could giants have actually existed? Let's explore it. In this video, we will present 10 shocking proofs that giants were real. Hello, and welcome to our channel, In Wonder. Before I go into details, please subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so yet. And don't forget to hit the like button and share this video. Let's get started. Number 10. Harvard University research on ancient human DNA. Researchers at Harvard University found something shocking about ancient human DNA. They wrote about it in a groundbreaking genomic study published in the journal Nature. It shows that the ancient Britons, whose culture built Stonehenge, mysteriously left the British Isles almost completely soon after the monument was finished. They contributed essentially zero genetic material to the present-day British people. New evidence from 2018 reveals that Neolithic Britons carried a distinct genetic profile. Shortly after the time when Stonehenge was built, this society goes completely away and is quickly replaced by a completely new one. The report from Harvard is a real stunner. A whole culture can only look at disappearances without traces. It's the most shocking and unexpected ending you could ever imagine. The study utilized a game-changing new technique that involved taking DNA samples from ancient human bones and comparing them to present-day people living in the same area. Next, researchers calculate what share of today's population can trace their ancestry back to the ancient people. So the new genetic theta is an example of population replacement, in which the genetic markers that define a population are almost completely replaced in a short amount of time by the genomic signature of a different population from a different part of the world. It is still a huge historical mystery why the people who built Stonehenge vanished. Ancient astronaut theorists and flood stories from all over the world say that humans died out because ancient astronauts destroyed their genetic lineage. Here we take a look at several recorded cases of enormous skeletons from prehistoric times all around North America. Number 9. In the 1890s, a 7-foot-tall human skeleton was found at Serpent Mound in Ohio. There is an ancient burial monument in the Peebles area with a length of 1,370 feet. Ross Hamilton has uncovered many secrets and done research about the giants who once lived there. The most recent radiocarbon dating puts the year 321 BC. It shows that it was built during the time when the Adena civilization thrived in that area. Professor Frederick Ward Putnam dug up several mounds nearby the Serpent Mound in the 1890s. Putnam only found skeletons that were 6 feet tall, but researcher Jeffrey Wilson recently found a postcard that showed a skeleton that was 7 feet tall. Since Putnam was the only one who dug there, it could be something he found. Even though the postcard says it was taken at Serpent Mound, where Ross first showed the photo of the 7-foot-tall skeleton in his book, A Tradition of Giants. This has caused a lot of disagreement. The legs appear to end at the knees. Therefore, the height given may be an estimate based on the assumption that the feet and lower legs were still attached. What if the legs and feet had been joined together? Its height might have been as much as 8 feet. Number 8. A skeleton measuring 7 feet and 2 inches tall, discovered near Cresap Mound, West Virginia in 1959. Dr. Donald Dragoo, head of the section of Man in the Carnegie Museum, excavated the Cresap Mound in Virginia in 1959. He found a skeleton that was 7 feet, 2 inches tall. This person was quite tall and hefty. Almost 7.4 feet was his length, as measured in the tomb. The weight of the lengthy bones added up quickly. Since Dragoo put a picture of the real skull in his book, it can't be argued that the story isn't true. When it comes to finding skeletons in burial mounds, Dragoo joins a long list of other university-educated archaeologists and anthropologists who have found bodies longer than 7 feet and often with abnormalities. Don't you think this is also strong proof that giants walked the earth? Number 7. Iowa Mounds, 1897. Skeleton measures 7 feet 6 inches. Scientists are on record as having discovered the skeleton of a man who, according to their measurements, had stood at 7 feet, 6 inches in life when they were excavating a mound in Iowa. When the bones were exposed to air, they disintegrated into powder. Number 6. A skeleton that measured 8 feet in height was discovered in Steelville, Missouri in 1933. During the Searching for the Lost Giants episode, Jim and his investigation collaborator, James Clary, looked into the following tale, which was labeled as such: the discovery of the bones of a primitive Ozark giant by a young boy looking for arrowheads has given Steelville, Missouri, an interesting question to think about. These lines are from an article that appeared in the June 11, 1933 issue of the Steelville Ledger. He discovered the whole skeleton of a giant measuring 8 feet in height. The gruesome find was put on display in Dr. Parker's office corridor along its full colossal length. It was called the most shocking thing Steelville has ever shown to the public. Number 5. Skeleton found near Miamisburg, Montgomery County, Ohio, measuring 8 feet and 1.5 inches. The Adena civilization probably constructed Miamisburg Mound between 1100 and 200 BC. There was Ohio's largest conical burial mound, nearly 70 feet tall and 877 feet in diameter. Who went to that location in September 2012 and found other skeleton remains in that area. Even among the best experts in the world, the discovery of a giant skeleton at Miamisburg has caused a lot of interest and discussion. In the Miami Valley of Ohio, the remains of a man who was bigger than anyone who has ever been recorded have been found. They determined that the bones belonged to a man who was 8 feet and 1.5 inches tall. Number 4. The 8-foot, 4-inch mummy known as the San Diego Giant, who died in 1895. This amazing find is about the discovery of a big mummy in San Diego, which is now thought to be a fake. It's a well-known story, but there's some mystery and inconsistency in it. So let's look into it. The first report appeared in 1895 with the headline 9 feet tall and probably a California Indian. Verified accuracy of measurement. Besides these well-known examples of gigantism, there are many more famous big people in history and fiction. It was carefully looked into and measured by Professor Thomas Wilson, curator of the Department of Prehistoric Anthropology at the Smithsonian Institution, and other scientists, and the result was 8 feet 4 inches. So it cannot be completely dismissed as fake. Number 3. Black Obelisk. All over the world, people have found old things that point to the existence of giants. For example, in the Middle East, there is a large stone slab known as the Black Obelisk, which depicts a giant man standing next to a smaller man. This suggests that giants were much taller than the average human being. More than that, in China, there are ancient statues of giant warriors that are believed to be over 10 feet tall. This also suggests that giants were not only tall, but also strong and powerful. Number 2. Giants Hill in Peru. Larger-than-life humanoids have been linked to archaeological sites discovered on every continent. In Peru, for instance, there is a place called Giants Hill, where the skeletons of people who were likely over 10 feet tall have been discovered. There is also a place in Egypt called Giants Valley, where the bodies of mummies that were likely over 8 feet tall have been discovered. These places show that giants really did exist and that they were much bigger than people today. Number 1. Historic writings. Giants are mentioned in ancient literature from a wide range of cultures. In the Indian epic Mahabharata, for example, there is a character named Bhima who is said to be about 3.7 meters tall. The Epic of Gilgamesh, an old Mesopotamian book, tells the story of a giant named Enkidu, who is said to have been almost 10 feet tall. The stories in these books say that not only did giants exist, but they were also much bigger than people today. Those stories were passed down through generations as history. There is certainly some truth here. Wow, this is some pretty wild stuff. It looks like there are plenty of convincing arguments that giants really did exist. From archaeological discoveries to ancient stories, it's clear that these mysterious creatures have left their mark on history. Guys, what do you think? Could giants have actually existed? Please let us know in the comment section below. Stay tuned with us to get more interesting videos like this one. Thanks for watching.